What's up guys, welcome to the video, and today I'm going to show you how to launch a Project Zomboid server using gPortal. So first thing you're going to want to do is click the link in the description and use my code to get 10% off your first server with gPortal. Next you're going to want to click Rent a Server, scroll down, search for Project Zomboid, should pop up pretty quickly, click it. You're going to get hit with a few preset configurations. If you're just running a server for you and a few friends, these are fine. But if you're going to be adding more players and lots of mods and map mods to your server, you're going to maybe want to do a custom configuration. The way Zomboid works is it uses 2 gigabytes to run the server and about 500 for every player. So figure out how many players you expect to have on your server and you'll know how much RAM you're going to need. Certain maps and mods are going to put a lot more stress onto your server as well, and Zomboid loves to eat up the RAM, so just keep that in mind. We're going to go to create your own configuration. This is where you can choose how much RAM to give your server, the duration of your server, and also the location. We'll probably just choose 3 gigs of RAM just for now, and the duration we'll pick 3 days, and we'll put the server in Sydney, Australia. And you just want to hit continue. And now this is where we pay for the server. So gPortal accepts 3 credit cards: Visa, American Express, and MasterCard. You can also use your PayPal, PaySafeCard, WeChat Pay, or you can pay with your balance. I got a balance, so we'll just use that for today. So once you put in your information, you're just going to want to hit order. Your server is now installing, so just give it a minute. It won't take long. We're now in your panel and your server's ready to be started, so let's go through all this. So right here at the top is going to be your IP and your port. This is how everyone connects and joins your server. To turn your server on, you're going to flick this button right here. If you ever need to turn it off, just hit that same button. First time you launch Zomboid, it's going to take a few minutes for Zomboid to create all the files for your server, so just give it a minute or two. If you need to restart your server, this is where you click the restart button. So if you ever have a mod update, it's very easy. Just come in here, hit the restart, your server will go down, it will auto update and come back up. This is your CPU usage and your RAM. If you're ever having trouble on your server or anyone's having lag, be sure to always come first and look at the RAM. If you're hitting max RAM, you just need more RAM on your server. You guys are using it all, and Zomboid loves to eat up the RAM. So if you're ever having troubles, that's the first place to look, is just check your RAM. Remember what I said earlier, 2 gigabytes for the server, 500 for every player, and a little extra for some mods if you're running lots of heavy mods. Next, we're going to go over the FTP Access. So they recommend you use FileZilla. This is what I use. I find it's great. So you're just going to want to take all your info here, your host, port, username, and password, put it up here, and then you're going to want to click Quick Connect. And anytime you come back to this, you don't have to type it in every time. Just click the drop down here, and it will all be saved. So we're going to be looking at 4 things in here. The first one's going to be the allow list. This is the file that holds all of your usernames and passwords for everyone that logs into your server. So if you ever need to find that, this is where it is. Next, we can go take a look at the logs. So the logs are just all the logs in your server. So this is everything that happens. Zomboid keeps track of everything and creates logs. So if you're ever looking to find out what happened with anything, it's all in there. Alright, next up we have the save folder. So this contains your entire server, the zombies, the loot, the buildings, the players, everything. It's all in here. So if you want to create a backup, you can just save that whole folder. Server is where your 3 main files are. This is your server ini, your sandbox, and your spawn regions. So this determines what your server is, settings, mods, all that stuff. These 3 files you can configure inside gPortal, and I'll show you in just a second. But I wanted to cover the FTP in case anyone needed to come in here and they were just unfamiliar with it. So it's pretty easy. Alright, so next up we're going to go through the basic settings. So this section here is going to change your server ini. So the 3 files I just showed you in the FTP that determine what your server is going to be. This is the main one. This is like the server side of settings. So whether it's public, the password of the server, how many players, all that kind of stuff. So you just would go through here and you would change all of this, and this would be your server. Turn PvP off, turn public on, whatever you need to do. There's a lot of settings. I'm going to make another video going through all these settings and advanced settings. Make sure you always save when you're done in here. So once you've made changes and you've go over everything, make sure everything's how you want it. Always double check and then just hit save when you're done. This file you can save when the server's up, by the way. You don't need to turn your server off to save this file, so just keep that in mind as well. At the very top of basic settings is where you can change the branch. So latest build is just the current update of Zomboid. If you switch to unstable, it's like their unstable testing version. For some reason, if you need to get on it, that's how you switch it. And this is also where you would delete your server. So if you ever want to delete your server, just click the delete all save games here. This will wipe your entire server when you do this, so just be warned, your server will be gone when you click that button. Next, we're going to look at your configuration files. So these files determine what your server is going to be, what settings, what pop, what loot, what the mods are going to be, everything. So spawn points, all of that. So you can configure all this stuff from here inside gPortal. I have a faster way of doing it, and I'll show you in my advanced settings video that I'll be posting. So I'll put a link in the description for that, where I go over all the advanced settings and just an easier way of doing it. Alright, next we have the logs. So if you ever are looking to see what's going on in your server, you can check the chat, you can check who touched what item, anything, who jumped in a car, jumped out of it here. Everything about your server will be in these logs. So if you're ever looking for any of that, that's where you look. Then we have the auto updater. This really doesn't matter too much for Zomboid, as Zomboid doesn't update that often. It's not one of those games they're always pumping out updates. Let's be honest, Zomboid updates can be they can be pretty long in between. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that, but I'd leave it on. Now this one is very important. If you're running a modded server with a lot of mods, Zomboid modders like to update their mods like crazy, fixing bugs and stuff. So especially if it's a new mod, they'll just be updating it all the time. So it's really convenient to have a restart schedule, put in something daily at a time where no one's playing, and that way your server's restarted every day. It will just help your server run better and update any mods that need to be updated. This way, if you're not around to restart your server, you just have that peace of mind knowing that every day it will be restarted and everyone will be able to get in. Next we got backup. So backup's pretty simple. Just press the button to create a backup and it will back up your server. It will take longer depending on how long you've been playing on the server. Zomboid server files can actually become pretty big. I've had ones up to like 5 gigs. So just know that the longer you've been playing, the longer that's going to take. We're a brand new server, so it was under 1 megabyte. And then you just click restore to restore it, and you click delete there to delete it. So pretty simple. Next we have permissions. So if you're running a server with a friend or you want to give someone else access to all of this that I just showed you, you would just put their username in here. So you just, here you go, Joe. Now Joe can use the server. Just add him up, and Joey's going to be messing with all your settings. Alright, and the final section is the support section. So if you guys have any troubles with your servers, you're always welcome to contact gPortal. They're there to help you. Write them a ticket. They'll get back to you. Anything at all, they can help you with it. So yeah, just feel free to contact them if you're having any issues at all. And of course, you're welcome to drop a comment in the comments, and I will get back to you as well. If you have any trouble, I do not mind helping any of you guys at all. Just throw it in the comments. I will get back to you ASAP. And yeah, that's about everything, guys. If you plan on getting a gPortal server, use my link in the description to get 10% off. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.